balancing difficulty and fairness is crucial when creating an excellent game. But it's not always easy. When you need to consider things like mechanics, rewards, challenges, tuning, timing, and enemy telegraphing, it can become a lot to juggle, with some things slipping through the cracks. Sometimes this is no big deal, and you barely notice anything. However, at other times, the issues become so noticeable that they border on unfair or even a meme, ultimately. I'm someone who enjoys exploiting these things in games and laughing at them, and you may be too. So let's take a look at a few cases of absolutely insane imbalances in video games throughout the years, and let me preface with the fact that I enjoy all of these games and think they're very good games. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. We may explore more in the future. Kicking things off, we have Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. These titles are infamous regarding an imbalance specifically related to Fire-type Pokemon. Upon the release of these games, players were confused, as it seemed that Fire-type Pokemon were particularly scarce in the Sinnoh region. Maybe RNG just wasn't on their side when it came to encounters. Maybe the Fire-type Pokemon were all clustered in later areas. Nope, none of these are the case. If you start the game without selecting Chimchar, you are ultimately out of luck regarding any Fire-type Pokemon in this region. The only other Fire-type that exists in Sinnoh is Ponyta. That's all you get without trading or moving Pokemon from different generations until you beat the Elite Four. You may be okay with not using any Fire-type Pokemon on your team. Still, I consider them reasonably significant, and that immediately catapults Chimchar as the best starter of this entire generation. Sorry, Turtwig, I adore you, but I can grab plenty of other grass types. We've just gotta make that sacrifice.
It's all about the greater good. The greater good.
Next, we have the catnip gunner trick from Final Fantasy X-2. This is a controversial thing I'm about to say right here, but I love this game more than OG 10. If you throw some magical girl shenanigans in my Final Fantasy title, I am all in. This exploit was so ridiculous that it ended up getting rebalanced in the HD remaster of this game, and doesn't exist anymore in that version. Now, catnip is an item that automatically makes all of your character's attacks hit the damage cap of 9,999. Seems pretty decent on its own as an endgame item. What the devs missed, however, is how this interacts with one of the first classes you unlock in the game, the Gunner. The Gunner has an ability called Trigger Happy, which allows you to spam gunshots with the R1 button to hit your enemy multiple times. This worked with the catnip item, allowing your Trigger Happy to be an auto win button, immediately deleting the most challenging bosses in the game. Now, in the HD remaster, catnip forces your character into an automatic berserk state that cannot be removed, so Trigger Happy can no longer be exploited in this way. But if you pick up the original release of 10.2 on PS2 and want to give this exploit a go, you can steamroll the entire game, with any boss's mechanics being a moot point in the face of such overwhelming and instantaneous damage. Let's move on to my beloved Xenoblade series, specifically Xenoblade 3, to discuss the Signifer class. Signifer is Fiona's default class, and is unlocked once you recruit her. It is also one of the most busted support classes in RPG history, and is easily the best class you can set Mio in for the endgame. Signifer can grant any buff to its allies. Combine this with the Flash Fencer's Cross Impact skill, and that means you can grant Power Charge to all of your allies. Power Charge increases the damage of the next art your ally uses by a staggering amount. And when you are using a class granting multiple buffs to multiply your strongest damage dealer's most potent attacks consistently, you'll be begging to see your screen fill with some of the most disgusting damage numbers you can muster, and your begging will pay off. This class has excellent synergy with another class in the game, Troubadour, and if you take their ability to pause the countdown on your buffs that you've provided allies, you've essentially created a class with unlimited buff uptime for all of your allies with some of the most surprising damage burst windows you've ever seen. Signifer may not be flashy, but it gets the job done, allowing your other classes to reach their full potential. Let's discuss the game that saved the Fire Emblem franchise, Fire Emblem Awakening. Or as has been nicknamed by some of the more hardcore players, Eugenics Simulator. Now wait, don't click away, I don't believe this in real life. But when it comes to Fire Emblem Awakening, it's kind of hard to avoid. You see, due to several time travel related shenanigans, Fire Emblem Awakening brings in characters into your army who are the children of your soldiers who ended up getting married during the war. These children inherit high stats, powerful skills, and class selections from each of their parents upon recruitment. And with any stat and skill distribution comes min-maxing and memes in the ways I don't think the developers intended. Marrying for love? Not allowed in this war. Wait, what's that, Gregor? You want to marry Maribel because you love her? Maybe if it wasn't wartime, you absolute moron. Instead, I'm gonna pair you with this tiny dragon lolly so you can pass down your arms thrift and bow breaker skills to your half-dragon, half-Russian mercenary progeny. This extends to every pairing in the game, leading to quote-unquote proper pairings when it comes to maximizing stats, with some people instead needing to be forever alone just because their genetics aren't up to snuff. Nintendo, do you have something to share with us? We'll only ask for a couple of people to be fired for this, we promise. And finally, I want to discuss one of my favorite examples, something I had the opportunity to experience again recently, which is the impetus for creating this entire video, and that is Final Fantasy VIII. And you too can experience this very easily because it's not just a single character or class that is broken, it is the entire game. Final Fantasy VIII is the first and only game in the series to use the controversial junction system, which allows players to steal and store magic from enemies and then apply it to their character's stats. This is the Final Fantasy game that's your dream if you like seeing big numbers, and the junction system enables it. While the system has a high skill ceiling to learn, once you master it, the entire game just becomes impossible to lose with a little bit of elbow grease. Here's just one such example of something you can do in this game that isn't even the most ridiculous way to destroy any semblance of balance. Anytime before leaving for the Timber mission at the start of the game, you can go fight fish on the shore of Balam's Island. Get the plus strength bonus from Ifrit, the HP junction, and the skill that allows you to turn items into health restore spells. All of these you can get very early in the game. Go to the item shop in Balam and buy 30 cottages, which you can then turn into 100 Kiragas, one of the most powerful healing spells. Then take those 100 Kiragas and join them with Squall's HP. He will have approximately 3,000 HP at the start of the game, even before leaving Tutorial Island. Then, never heal him, so that his Limit Break Renzo Kuken can activate every single turn. If his Limit Break doesn't come up one turn, press triangle to skip Squall's turn, repeatedly. Eventually, it will. Immediately destroy every enemy with Squall's Limit Break. This entire minor side quest I just mentioned is one of the most benign examples of what you can do to break the whole game. You can pull off shenanigans like making every attack force an enemy to go to sleep, or drain an entire enemy's HP. You can build up your whole party to have complete immunity to entire bosses. If you even want to get crazy with it, you can intentionally avoid leveling up your party, since all the enemies in the game level with your group, like in Skyrim. Then just use the magic that you make from items to augment your stats and one-hit kill every enemy in the whole game. We will never see another Final Fantasy as broken as 8, and that's both awesome and a shame. I hope you enjoyed this look into some truly broken instances in JRPGs. Do you have a particular exploit you enjoy using when playing one of these games? Do you believe that there is an optimal way to play a game? Or do you think the people who gleefully use things like this are cheap and just spit in the face of fun? Let me know down in the comment section. As you head down there, be sure to check out the Discord, Patreon, and Ko-fi. Huge thanks to everyone on all those platforms for their support, and a big thanks to you on YouTube for watching until the very end. This is Kawaii50, hoping you all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you all in the next one.